Hi, my name is Nurul Anshah binti Baharudin. My metric number H22A1214. Today I want to present about introduction, Kosan Rubber and Supermax Sendram Berhad. Our group has choose Kosan Rubber and Supermax because the both company are very closely related to our course, which is in the wellness industry. Other than that, this company have many advantages to wellness. The ratio measure a company performance, liquidity, stability, and profitability, and can provide investor with more relevant information than raw financial data. Investor and analysis can gain a profitability advantage in the stock market by using popular and arguably indispensable ratio analysis technique. In addition, financial ratios are also widely used to help predict the future performance of business. A finance and forecast give business access to unified report and allow the finance department to set realistic and achievable business goals. They are not granted of will happen, of course, but investors can use this ratio calculate a company based on its own history or compare it to its competitors' name. Hi, my name is Nur Ansha binti Baharudin. My metric number H22A1214. Today I want to present about trend analysis of Kosan Rubber Industry Berhad 2021 and 2022. First, liquidity ratio. Current ratio. Current ratio in these 2 years determine a company's ability to cover short-term obligation. Current ratio in 2021 was 4.34, addition to 10.03 in 2022. Next, quick ratio. The quick ratio measures a company's capacity to pay its current liability without needing to sell its inventory. Quick ratio in 2021 was 3.83, addition to 9.02 in 2022. Lastly, net working capital. Net working capital was increased for 2,059,272 to 2,569,443 in 2022 has higher than may not be leveraging current asset with optimal efficiency. Next, activity ratio. Total asset turnover. Total asset turnover used to measure the effective of company in generating sales. Kosan Rubber total asset turnover in 2021 is higher than 2022 with 1.30 in 2021 and 0.54 in 2022. Account receivable turnover. Account receivable turnover used to indicate to company ability in managing credit sale and convert account to receivable into the cash. The trend of account receivable turnover of Kosan Rubber increased in 2021 with 11.87 from 8.50 in 2022. It increased 3.37 in the year. The higher ratio of account receivable turnover in 2022 indicate that this company is effective in generating sales. Next, average collection period. Average collection period indicate firm problem in collection debt. The ratio decreased from 2.46 in 2021 to 3.27 in 2022. The lower ratio in 2021 showed that Cotton Rubber faced less problem in collecting debt from clients. Next, inventory turnover. The function of inventory turnover is to reflect the effective of a company inventory to generate sale. Fixed asset turnover ratio of Cotton Rubber decreased from 50.6 in 2021 to 8.16 in 2022. The lower ratio of fixed asset turnover in 2022 indicate the lower effective of Cotton Rubber management in using their fixed asset to generate sale. Lastly, fixed asset. A higher ratio of fixed asset over indicate the effective of fixed asset to generate sale. Fixed asset turnover ratio of Cotton Rubber decreased from 4.44 in 2021 to 1.60 2022. The lower ratio of fixed asset turnover in 2022 indicate the lower effective of Cotton Rubber management in using their fixed asset to generate sale.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Sedatu Atira binti Muhammad. My metric number H22A1234. I want to present about leverage or debt ratio for 2021 and 2022. Debt ratio. Debt ratio can be referred as financial ratio that play important role in measuring that extent for a company leverage. A debt ratio of greater than corresponding debt ratio in 2021 and 2022 is different, which is 20% and 9.92%. Debt to equity ratio. Debt to equity ratio compare a company's total liability to its shareholder equity and user to evaluate how much leverage a company uses. The higher ratio reflects the higher amount of debt. Debt to equity ratio of Kasaraband in 2021 is 25% with 29% in 2022. The greater ratio of 29 indicates that Kasaraband is facing higher amount of debt. Next, time interest earning ratio. Time interest ratio is a ratio used to measure of a company's ability to meet its debt obligation based on its current income. The higher ratio was in 2021 at 4.971 point debt 2022. 5.45, the higher ratio indication that Kosovo can meet loan requirement and lower risk of default. Next, profitability ratio. Return on equity. Return on equity refer to measure of a company profitability in relation to its stakeholder equity. Castle Robin on equity in 2022 with 70.52% in 2021, then 6.4% in 2022 respectively. The ratio decreased from 70.52 to 6.4% show that a lower return to shareholder company around 64.5% 0.12%. Return on asset. Return on asset is a measure of company profitability in relationship to its total asset. Casa Robin return on asset in 2021 is higher than 2022 with 56.36% in 21 and 3.45% in 22 respectively in increase around 52.91% indicated the lower return on the fire investment. Net operating profit margin. Operating profit margin illustrate the revenue made a company activity before deducting tax and interest charge. It is also the efficiency of a company management in keeping operating costs low while at the same time generating more revenue. The higher operating profit margin of Casaraban was in 2021 56.12 will lower in 2020 at 7.8% only. Net profit margin. Net profit margin reflect on how much revenue of say could be collected by a company. Net profit margin in 2021 was greater than 2022 with 43.08% than 6.7% respectively. They are 36.38% decrease of the net profit margin from 2021 to 2022. The lower ratio of 6.7% in 22 indicated lower income to shareholders.
Hello, hi, my name is Nuri Izzah Shazwina binti Hanafi and my metric number is #2280723. Alright, today I want to present about comparative analysis of Kosa Rubber Industries Berhad and Supermax Corporation Berhad 2022. Alright, let's focus to liquidity ratios. The liquidity ratios between these two companies determine the company's ability to cover short-term obligations. Current ratio of Kosan Rubber Company is 10.03, while Supermax Corporation has liquidity ratio of only 4.94. Alright, next, quick ratio. The quick ratio measures a company's capacity to pay its current liabilities without having to sell its inventory. The quick ratio of Kosa Rubber Company is 9.02 when compared to Supermax Corporation Company, which only has a value of 4.62. Alright, next is net working capital. Supermax Corporation's company has a high net working capital of 3,904,170,884 ringgit compared to the Kosan Rubber Company, which amount to 257,1767 ringgit. Hence, it is likely that the Supermax Corporation's company has more underutilization of current asset with optimal efficiency. Right, let's focus to activity ratios for total asset turnover. Total asset turnover is used to measure how effectively a company generates sales. Kosa Rubber total asset turnover is higher than Supermax Corporation's asset turnover, which is between 0.54 and 0.45. It decreased around 0.09 from 0.54 to 0.45 in the same year. Total asset turnover of Kosan Rubber Company in 2022 is more effective in generating their sales. Average cost receivable turnover. Account receivable turnover is used to demonstrate a company's ability to manage credit sales and convert account receivable to cash. The trend of Supermax Corporation account receivable income has a value of 9.42 if compared to Kosan Rubber, which is 8.5. Higher account ratio receivable turnover in 2022 shows that this company is generating sales effectively. Next is average collection period. Average collection period indicate a strong problem in collecting debt. The ratio for the Kosan Rubber company is 42.39, while the Supermax Corporation's company is 38.22 in the same year. The lower ratio in 2022 shows that Supermax corporations face less problem in collecting debt from customer than the Kosan Rubber company. Next is inventory turnover. The function of inventory turnover is to reflect effectiveness company inventory to generate sales. Supermax Corporation inventory turnover is higher than Kosan Rubber, which is 10.04 to 8.16. It shows a likely decrease around 1.66 that year. The lower ratio reflects less 1.88 effectiveness of Kosan Rubber inventory to generate sales. The last one is fixed asset turnover. A higher fixed asset turnover ratio indicates the effectiveness of fixed asset to generate sales. Supermax Corporation fixed asset turnover ratio drops to Kosan Rubbers, which is 1.58 to 1.59. A lower fixed asset turnover ratio indicates that Supermax Corporation's management is less effective in using their fixed asset to generate sales.
Leverage or debt ratio. Debt ratio. Debt ratio can be referred to as a financial ratio that plays an important role in measuring a company's level or leverage. A debt ratio greater than 1.0 or 100% means the company has more debt than asset, while debt a ratio of less than 100% indicates that the company has more asset than debt. Kosan Rubber's debt ratio is half that of Supermax Corporation at 9% to 16%. Debt to equity ratio. Debt to equity ratio compares a company's total liability to its shareholders and is used to assess how much leverage a company is using. The higher ratio reflects a higher amount of debt. Supermax Corporation debt to equity ratio is higher than Kosan Rubber. A larger ratio of 18% indicates that Supermax Corporation face a higher amount of debt. Non-interest yield ratio. Based on current income, a measure of a company's ability to repay its debt obligations. Supermax Corporation is better than Kosan Rubber because the higher ratio indicates that the firm can meet the loan risk of default. Net profitability ratio. Return on equity. Return on equity is a measure of a company's profitability in relation to its shareholders' equity. Supermax Corporation return on equity in 2022 is 42%, while Kosan Rubber is 0.7%. With this analysis, it shows that Supermax Corporation has a higher ratio indicating a stronger return of shareholder to company. Return on asset. Return on assets is a measure of the relationship of a company's profit to its total asset. Supermax Corporation return on asset in 2022 is 36%, while Kosan Rubber is 0.6%. It shows that Supermax Corporation has something better ratio in 2022 compared to Kosan Rubber, showing a better return on Supermax Corporation investment. Gross profit margin. The gross profit margin reflects the company's total sales revenue remain after all the direct costs of running the business have been paid reject. Cosan Rubber has a gross profit margin of 99% when Supermet Corporation has a gross profit margin of 104% in comparison to Cosan Rubber. Supermet Corporation have a larger ratio in 2022, indicating a better contribution margin. Operating profit margin. Operating profit margin describes the profit generated by the company's activity before tax and interest charges are deducted. In 2022, Cosan Rubber's operating profit margin is 7.9%, while Supermet Corporation is 14% in comparison to Cosan Rubber's. Supermet Corporation has a high ratio in 2020, indicating stronger productivity. Net profit margin. The net profit margin is a metric for determining how much net income or revenue gains are generated. In 2022, Cosan Rubber's net profit margin 1%, while Supermet Corporation is 79% in comparison to Supermet Corporation. Cosan Rubber has a lower ratio indicating generated income to shareholders. Before I finish my part, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Siti Nasnida binti Muhammad Aziz. My number metric H220303. That's all. Thank you.
Hello, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Hanif bin Izaidi and my metric number is H22080782. Today, I would like to talk about overall analysis and conclusions based on my book assignment, which is unpick about Cosan Rubber Industries and Supermax Corporation perhaps. Okay, in this overall analysis, COVID-19 has somewhat affected these two companies. This is because in Cosan Rubber, the effect only has a small impact compared to the limited Supermax Corporation. From what has been studied through a comparative analysis between the two companies, it is clear that Cosan Rubber Berhad is more stable than Supermax Corporation when the impact of COVID-19 was hitting. For example, a comparative analysis done for two companies during COVID-19 is in terms of inventory turnover. Inventory turnover is financial statistics that show how many times a company's inventory has been sold and replaced in an unspecific period. Supermax Corporation inventory turnover is higher, which is 10.04, than Cosan Rubber is 8.16. Inventory turnover is also a metric that shows how well a company can manage its inventory. Cosan Rubber Industry is lower than Supermax Corporation because the inventory is moving slowly and tying up capital. This clearly shows that Supermax Corporation was more effective in product output and sales than Cosan Rubber Industry Berhad when the COVID-19 pandemic was raging. Looking at the other angle of comparison between the two companies are the gross profit. The gross profit margin illustrates how much of a company's sales revenue remains after all direct costs of doing business have been deducted. Cosan Rubber Industries Berhad has a gross profit margin of 99%, whereas Supermax Corporation has a gross profit margin of 114%. In comparison to Cosan Rubber, Supermax Corporation had a greater ratio in 2022, indicating a better contribution margin. It is clear that Supermax Corporation is more efficient at doing net sales volume when COVID-19 is hitting than Cosan Rubber Berhad. If I were an investor, I would choose Supermax Corporation because of the integrity and the capabilities. Hah? Tak lah. Pasal ni financial. If I were If I were an investor, I would choose Supermax corporations because of the integrity, the capabilities of company to produce goods and at the same time making profits. While in a pandemic situation, it's very satisfactory and interesting as it can attract investors to invest in their company. In terms of gross profits or sales, the gross profit margin ratio is an indicator that shows a company's financial well-being. The more higher gross profit margin, the more higher opportunities in order to make profitable revenues in sales. In 2022, gross profit margin ratio of Kosan Rubber was 99% compared to Supermax Corporation with 104%. The greater ratio of Supermax Corporation indicates that it has a better contribution to the revenues in sales. It will then attract even more investors to invest in Supermax Corporation compare Kosan Rubber. In conclusion, investors will tend to invest more in Supermax Corporation as they see the company efficiency in making profits during COVID-19 situation. I think that's all from me, and thank you so much for lending your ears. Thank you. Bye. See you next time.